Did you know that many of the greatest inventors in history weren't exactly the first to create the technologies that made them famous, or that their inventions had hidden secrets and stories? Welcome to today's video, where we will uncover 10 amazing facts about the greatest inventors in history. Get ready to discover things you probably never imagined. Leonardo da Vinci is famous for inventions like the helicopter and the tank, but there's a big detail. He never managed to build these machines. The limitations of the technology of his time made it impossible to complete these projects. However, his drawings were centuries ahead of their time, and many believe Da Vinci was a true visionary in engineering. Thomas Edison is the name most associated with the invention of the electric light bulb. But in reality, Edison was not the first to create a light bulb. He was, however, responsible for improving the carbon filament design and making it commercially viable. The first functional light bulb was developed by other inventors, such as Joseph Swan. What Edison did was transform an invention into a mass-market product, something we all use today. Nikola Tesla is one of the greatest inventors in history, but for many years, his work was overshadowed by figures like Edison. Tesla was an electricity genius and the mind behind alternating current, the foundation of our modern electrical system. However, he never received the recognition he deserved during his lifetime. Tesla believed he could provide free electricity for everyone, a revolutionary idea that, unfortunately, he couldn't bring to fruition. Did you know that Alexander Graham Bell, famous for inventing the telephone, also had other interests? Bell tried to create a bird-winged airplane, a project that, of course, never succeeded. But he also made significant contributions to medicine and the education of deaf people. Bell was one of the great multifaceted innovators in history. Marie Curie not only became the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, but also the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes in different fields, physics and chemistry. She made discoveries that changed medicine, but her exposure to radiation, which she did not know was so dangerous, was responsible for the disease that killed her prematurely. Curie did more than science. She challenged the barriers of her time. Charles Babbage is called the father of the computer for designing the first mechanical machine capable of performing complex calculations. But despite creating the design, he never managed to complete his machine. The technologies of his time simply did not allow him to build it. However, Babbage had an enormous impact on the development of computing, with his concepts being fundamental to the future of computing. Henry Ford revolutionized the automotive industry, not by creating the first car, but by changing the way it was produced. He introduced the mass assembly line, allowing cars to be made faster and, most importantly, cheaper. Moreover, Ford believed his workers should earn enough to buy the car they manufactured, something innovative for the time. Johannes Gutenberg is famous for inventing the printing press, but he wasn't the first to use movable type for printing. China had been using a similar process long before. However, Gutenberg was the first to apply this process efficiently in Europe, changing the course of history and democratizing knowledge like never before. James Watt is known for improving the steam engine, but he wasn't the original inventor. The first functional version was created by Thomas Newcomen. What Watt did was improve the efficiency of the engine, allowing it to be used in factories and revolutionizing the Industrial Revolution. Steve Jobs didn't invent the technology behind his products, like the iPhone, but he was a master at combining ideas and making complex technologies accessible and desirable. His ability to create simple, yet incredibly powerful products changed the digital world forever.